You nearly knocked off the Dodgers last year. I was there at the end. Your offense just shut down for the last couple of games. The Dodgers had that effect on a lot of people last year. Where do you think you stand right now? Obviously, that's a $399 million payroll, generally very well spent. They still have Kershaw, Ohtani as a pitcher, and Snell in reserve. They've done nothing to this point. It's a pretty scary team on paper. But, anything can happen in a short series, and you have a very talented team. Where do you think you guys stand and stack up to that team?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's really the whole NL West. I think we joke about it as the NL West being kind of the SEC of Major League Baseball right now. But it's and then the National League is very strong, and I think we've seen it the last few years. We saw the Dodgers in 20 in the playoffs. We saw them again in 22, and then again last year in 24. So we've seen them 3 times in the last 5 years. They're obviously the defending world champs. They added a ton to their roster this offseason. They got guys back healthy, so they're a big challenge. And I think the D-backs are a year removed from representing the National League in the playoffs. The Giants, added more guys and got Jung Hoo Lee back this year, and then adding Willie Adames. They're always well run, and you got Buster Posey kind of leading their operation, who seems to be kind of the ultimate winner. So it's a stacked division, and the Dodgers. They won it last year. They beat us. So, at the end of the day, we thought we had one of the teams that could have won a World Series. We think we're, hopefully as good as we were last year and need to build on it. But I think our group came back super hungry, super motivated. I know Schulte talks about with our players all the time. We've gotten off to a good start, but we know it's going to be a big time challenge. And the biggest thing is you come out of the National League or the NL West and you're battle tested, for sure. You're not kind of sneaking in anymore with 87 wins in the NL West. It may be that way, in some other scenarios. But for us, you're going to have to win a lot of ball games. You're going to have to play great great throughout the season consistently. That's just the nature of it. And again, you understand the NL West, every year the faces change and the names change, but teams are going to keep adding. They're going to keep, bringing players throughout their systems that are going to be competitive. That's the nature of it. I think it makes you better as an executive and as an organization.
AJ, it leads to something. I asked Buster Posey about this when he was nice enough to join the show recently. And I know you grew up a Yankee fan. You're an aficionado of the era. It always seemed to me that the Yankees pushed, especially the Red Sox, to go to an uncomfortable level as far as accumulating talent, salary, etc. I wonder if the NL West is becoming kind of like the new AL East. To your point, you're not getting in with 86 or 87 or rudimentary talent. Are the Dodgers forcing all of you guys to go places? Like, if you want to keep up with the Joneses, this is what's going to be necessary, whether it's Corbin Burns in Arizona, Willie Adames in San Francisco, your accumulation of talent. Are they kind of like what the Yankees were in the late 90s, forcing, if you're in their division, you better go to these places?
I think more like the New York columnists were at that time, when it was like Verducci leads to Sherman, leads to Heyman, Feinstein mixed in, Bill Madden was kind of the veteran team you knew was going to be there all the time. You were always looking to see who was going to one up the other guy. I was thumbing
this
through.
This is even more impressive than your Japanese.
Yeah, I was thumbing through. I needed to, I needed more information. So yeah, that was always like I'm sure you guys felt that competition. We feel that the same way. No, I think it's an interesting. I think you see the debates this offseason about the super team and the value of the super teams. I think it does. It does make you look at the Yankees, Red Sox. I kind of watched that documentary here a few months ago when it was out, talking about the 03, 04 Red Sox. I think excellence always forces other teams to raise the bar, like in any industry, any field, et cetera. So, again, you can debate, what it all means, everything, but I do think when that the bar is raised and the bar is high, in whatever arena you're in, and for us in the National League West, and having a team and teams there that push you. I think that's all part of what we've seen. It's kind of an arms race in the National League, and I think you see it in the other divisions.
All right, Dodgers Nation. We need to talk about something that's kind of blowing my mind right now. This one is wild. There's legit talk now that Bobby Miller, the same Bobby Miller who lit it up last season with a fastball that touches 100 miles per hour, could be on the trade block. Now I know what you're thinking. There's no way the Dodgers would give up on Miller this early. But ESPN's David Schoenfield just dropped a report that changes everything. Injuries. Roster crunch. a shaky comeback. And suddenly, a former top pitching prospect is in the trade rumors at the deadline. Today we're diving into what's really going on with Miller, why the Dodgers might actually move him, and whether that's genius front office strategy or a massive mistake. Let's break it down. Grab your coffee, grab your hat. This is latest Dodgers news. Let's roll. Okay, let's not forget who we're talking about here. Bobby Miller, first round pick in 2020. Big dude, 6 feet 5 inches, electric stuff, fastball sits at 97 to 100 miles per hour, nasty slider. In 2023, he gave Dodgers fans a lot to believe in. 3.76 ERA in 22 starts, 119 Burmese shots in 124 innings. That's a rookie showing top of the rotation potential. But then, 2024 happened. He was inconsistent. Command issues popped up. And then, boom, gets hit in the head by a 106 miles per hour comebacker in spring training 2025. That's not just scary, that's career altering for some guys. So why on earth would the Dodgers trade a guy like that? Two big reasons. Pitching injuries. Right now, the Dodgers have 12 pitchers on the IL. They've had to dig deep, even calling up Miller early after starting him in AAA. But his first and only MLB start this year? Rough. 3 IP, 8 hits, 6 ER, 3 walks, 7 Burmese shots. Okay, at least that was a flash. So the confidence isn't totally gone, but the command just wasn't there. Roster crunch. Schoenfield points out something big here. Because players on the 60-day IL don't count toward the 40-man, the Dodgers technically have 47 players on the 40-man roster right now. And when Kershaw comes back, and he's close, someone's gotta go. Miller, being in AAA and not producing like he did before, suddenly becomes a roster casualty or a trade chip. Now, this is where the front office has a tough call to make. You can hold on to Miller and hope he bounces back. Or you can try to cash in now, while there's still value, and patch the real holes on the roster. Center field, Andy Pages is struggling, .159/.274/.270, .544 OPS. Second base, Edmonds doing double duty and can't cover both. Could you flip Miller for a controllable outfielder? Maybe even part of a package for a legit bat or high leverage reliever? Honestly, I wouldn't rule it out. They play chess when most teams are stuck playing checkers. But still, trading Bobby Miller feels risky. This isn't some throw-in arm. This is a guy with ace potential who just got knocked off track. If you believe in your pitching development and LA has one of the best in the game, you keep him. But if you're chasing that 2025 title like never before, maybe you make the move. Here's what I want to know from you. Are you okay moving Bobby Miller? Or would you rather keep him, even if it means risking depth in other spots? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear the real fans' takes. If this trade talk gets any hotter, you better believe I'll be back breaking it all down. This is latest Dodgers news, where we don't just report the headlines. We live them like fans do. Like, subscribe, turn that bell on. And remember, it's not just about the stars in the lineup, it's the arms that close the deal. Let's go Dodgers!